Hey, good evening. This is Mark, the Incognito Astronomer. It's been a couple of months since I've posted a video, but with the recent discovery of a brand new supernova in a relatively nearby galaxy, I thought it'd be a really opportune time to get back on and show you what you might be able to see with a very basic EAA or electronically assisted astronomy setup with a smaller telescope. The telescope I'm using today is a 5-inch Celestron Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope with a reducer on it to bring it down to about f7. So we're looking at about focal length of around 900 millimeters. And what's really cool about this supernova is that it's very, very obvious. It's going to be one of those things where we should be able to see it really rapidly. Right now, this is a live view through the telescope. It's 5-second frames. And this fuzzy patch right here is Messier 101, which is a galaxy, M101. It's about 21 million light years away from us. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hit and I'm using SharpCap for my capture software. If you've seen my videos before, this is what I use to capture my images. It's a really useful program, and honestly, without this program, I think a lot of what we consider live viewing of the night sky really wouldn't be nearly as easy or work nearly as well. So I want to say a little shout out to Robin Glover, who is the person who created this program and runs the SharpCap forums. All right, so let's hit the live stack button here. That's going to start stacking the 5-second frames, one on top of the other, matching up the stars and keeping everything aligned so that over time you'll see an image build up of the galaxy here. So I'm going to hit the live stack button and start that process. I'm going to clear. This is one I was working on to make sure I had it in the right spot. And I'm going to reset color. And here we go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the color balancing, auto color balance button, which is over here. I'm going to click that, which will move these sliders slightly to basically line up all of the histogram peaks for each of the different color channels that this sensor has on it. I'm using a Uranus C camera from Player One. It has a IMX 585 chip. It's not a super big chip, relatively small, but it's plenty for what we're going to use it for. Now, you may not notice a whole lot going on here. We've stacked 40 seconds of frames so far while I've been talking. But if you move these sliders over, and if you want to get into this, this is kind of a little tutorial. Move the slider over, and if you notice, as you get closer to this peak, you'll begin to start to see something. And then because basically what I'm doing is I'm cutting out all of this excess noise, which is what this whole background is here. Okay, basically I'm cutting out all that extra noise. This peak is the data that we want to focus on. Then I'm going to bring the other slider in, which will accentuate that data as well. Now, one thing I've noticed is I have like a blue to red gradient, blue on the left and red on the right. In this frame, I'm not really sure what's causing that, but if we move these over, you can start to see the galaxy form. All right, so M101 is what we call a spiral galaxy. It's a face on, so it's facing us. We see the spiral arms. There's also edge on spirals that are out there where we see it. It looks like the edge of a plate, where we're seeing the plate basically from the top. The spiral arms are going like this around the center. So you have these outer arms here. The supernova is this bright star right there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. The supernova is that bright star right there. I took an image of this galaxy last fall, so at the end of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post that image as a comparison shot from before versus today. The astronomers have determined that this supernova is what's called a Type 2 supernova, which is when a star that's very massive basically runs out of fuel to keep it going and then collapses on itself. The physics of it are relatively straightforward. Basically, you have in the center of a star a bunch of nuclear explosions happening that are trying to blow the star apart. The star's gravity holds it all together, so it can't blow apart. But once one or the other stops, the other obviously takes over. So what's happening in a supernova is that the core basically can't do fusion anymore. So the explosions stop, and once they stop, the rest of the star, gravity takes over, collapses the star down. As it does so, it violently basically just rebounds against the core and blows the star apart. That's a Type 2 supernova. Type 2 supernova are where we're going to get a lot of the heavy elements that we have around us all the time. Anything above iron, so you're looking at all the gold, all the silver, all the other elements that are higher on the periodic table of elements, all come from supernova, and which is just an amazing thing to think about. So everything around us was born in explosions just like this one. I'm going to let this stack for a couple of minutes, so I'm going to pause this for just a few minutes and let it stack some more. Right now we're about 4 minutes. I'm going to try to get it up around 10 minutes and see what we can see if we can get us a better view of this or not. So I'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Well, hi there, I'm back. We're at about 9.5 minutes of exposures. Now, if you look at this, obviously, you should be able to tell that it is a lot more defined as far as the galaxy goes, because basically we're just adding photons bit by bit. Every 5 seconds we're adding a few more energy packets to try and get this picture a little bit more in view. Now what you might notice is these black, basically it looks like the entire frame's tilted a little bit. It looks like the frame's tilted because of the limitations of my setup. I have what is called an altitude azimuth mount, or alt-az, and as such the mount can only move up, down, and left and right. The stars and the sky move in a curve. Since my mount can't move in a curved motion, it can only move like stair steps, it can't exactly follow the motion of the stars through the sky. And after a certain amount of time, in this case it's been 10 minutes, 10.5 minutes on this galaxy, we start to see what's called field rotation, which is the rotation of the field because the scope is focusing here. The software is keeping all the stars aligned, but the frame is kind of getting tilted through the sky. I usually don't do, and I'm saving pictures as we go. That's what I was doing just then. Basically, I usually don't take a picture of over 10 minutes because of this. But this also, the variations in this, depends on where you're looking at in the sky. Certain points of the sky do not have as much field rotation as others, but right now, M101 is pretty high up in the sky. It's almost directly overhead, so that's going to maximize some of this rotation I'm going to see. Makes it a little bit bad for this, but yeah, that's okay. I've still captured the supernova. Oh, and by the way, a couple things. It's supernova. If I didn't say it the first time, it's SN2023ixf is its designation. And again, one thing, I guess it's currently getting brighter. It's the 22nd of May right now. It was discovered 3 days ago. It's already brightened up past magnitude 11. It was discovered around magnitude 14 to 15 when its discovery happened. So it's already brightened. Every order of magnitude is it's a logarithmic scale, so it's 10 times brighter than the one above or below it. So it's gone from a 14 to a 11. I think it's probably nearing 10 now. It may get even brighter. So it's brightened up considerably over the last couple of days, and it'll probably continue to do so. I'm going to keep staying out here and come out over the next few days if it's nice out to get further pictures of it and see it for myself. In either case, if you do get a chance, or if you have a setup, make sure you don't miss the supernova because they don't happen that often, especially in a galaxy that's bright enough and close enough to be viewed with amateur equipment. Many of the supernovas that astronomers see, they're just too far away, they're too dim for the reach of equipment that we can easily find in the hands of amateurs. So I appreciate you. I'm going to wrap it up the video. I appreciate you hanging out with me for a few minutes of your time. If you liked what you saw, or you liked the information that I gave to you, feel free to like the video, subscribe if you want. I'm going to try and post more videos, especially now that it's getting warm here in Ohio. I should be able to get outside more often and do some observing. I'm hoping that I'll be able to post some more videos up relatively soon. Anyway, again, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have clear skies. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.